What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I welcome you to the outdoor office where we are doing a reel review. This is the Penn Conflict 2, the 4000 size. If you're considering buying this model came in, I think, 6 different sizes up to the 5000 size. And since these reels are, for the most part, smaller reels, like I said, up to the 5000 size. Actually, I think they made a long cast size too. But anyway, these reels are mostly dedicated and mostly targeting the inshore fishermen. You know, I bought this for 2 reasons, really. Originally, the 2 reasons were I wanted to be able to throw small lures, small swim baits, small plugs for stuff like flounder, redfish, striper, trout. Nothing too big. I mean, they can get big. So this being the 4000 size reel with 260 yards of 20-pound braid. I mean, that's plenty for that type of inshore fishing, but that's why I bought the 4000, is because I had another thing in mind, which was throwing light lead and soaking baits at the bottom. Now, this was my original thinking. I'm aware this reel did come out about 4 years ago, so I am a little bit late to the game here. At $165 still for this reel, I wanted to, you know, make a video, put out my opinions, and I've used it for about 6 months. So I do believe I have enough information now to give you my honest opinion about this reel. We're gonna go over what it offers. Do I recommend this reel? You know, the pros and the cons of it, and would I buy it again? Let's start with what's in the box. Now, the box, obviously this has been opened because I've had this reel for 6 months. This is the box. In the box comes the parts list for model. There you go. We have the spinning reels by Penn, the instruction manual, and we have these. Do not lose these. These are the shims. I actually made a video, and I have a video out on how to use these and when to use these to adjust line lay on your spool there. And obviously it comes with the reel. I think it actually came with like a zip tie to hold it in place, which was kind of nice. So you've got your brand new reel out of the bag, or the box. You're gonna notice that it is very, very lightweight. Huge selling point for this reel is its weight. It's advertised as being, or was advertised as being their, at the time, their lightest reel. But that was a huge marketing thing for this, and the huge selling point for this reel was how light it was, or is. Now, I do know, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm all about honesty here. There are lighter reels for the price of this. If you're all about having the lightest reel and you're spending $165, keep your eyes open. Now, this is made with what they're calling rigid resin, RR30. I don't know what the hell it is, but it's in the body and it's in the rotor of this reel, and it is light. Did I say it was light? The inside of this reel is apparently made with something called CNC gearing. I don't know. That again is completely over my head, but it does make a hell of a smooth retrieve in this reel. It is just saying it's cutting through butter. That's not even doing it justice. Inside the spool, or under this braid that I have on there, it is called a super spool. Now, what that means is usually with spinning rods or whatever, you need to run mono backing underneath it before you put your braid on. This has, it's like a rubber ring that goes around, which allows you to run straight braid. Now, this is something I do like a lot, so take note, is the level line system on this reel. It has a very slow oscillation, Oscar Maya Weena. Slow oscillation means every time when you're turning it, it is slowly moving the spool up and down. When it lays the line on the spool, it is very tight. It is just like right on top of each other as it goes on. I mean, it really helps out with the casting. It really does. Now, I can't say that I've thrown this exact same reel with it not slow oscillating, but it is smooth. It goes, it really flings. It flings. Yes, I definitely praise it for its castability. This has the auto trip bail wire, which is that. Start turning and it just closes right away. Let me add that the bail wire is it's a good size. It's not wimpy, it's sturdy, it's fairly thick for it. So I mean, I really do like that. I have dropped this reel in saltwater before, continued fishing it that day, no issues. Got home, rinsed it off with water, no issues still to this day. This particular model has a 6.2 to 1 gear ratio. Now, all this stuff that I've listed and talked about so far, I mean, none of it's been negative. Solid reel, but I do have a little gray area, which I'm going to discuss with you now. So this is the front drag HT100 carbon fiber washer drag system that Penn has. This particular reel offers 15 pounds of drag. So for the majority of this time, I've been running 20-pound braid on here, and you know, at max, I might turn it up to 6 or 7 pounds of drag if I really need to. I mean, the general rule of thumb there is you want to run drag at most about 1/3 of what your line weight is. So if you're running 20, that's what I'm saying, a third of that is what? Somewhere between 6 and 7. So to really utilize 15 pounds of drag on this reel, I mean, you've got to be running some pretty heavy braid. Right when I first got this reel, I was real excited to use it. The only braid that I had laying around was 30-pound test. I put 30-pound test on here. That being said, I went fishing, had a little piece of bait out there. Little did I know, just big cow nose ray was just going to come and take a huge run with it. Huge run. So I'm running 30-pound braid. In my mind, I'm like, it's a cow nose ray. I don't care. If I lose the ray, I lose the ray. You know, if I pop them off, it is what it is. So I tightened it down. I mean, it was easily over 10 pounds of drag that I put on it, but that amount of drag on this reel, it did something to this reel. I don't know if what it's made out of flexed a little bit because of all the drag that was applied to it, but it was very difficult to, it was weird. I wasn't really, it was like, it was not easy to turn the handle. It felt very choppy, and it felt, I don't know, like maybe the pressure in it bent something inside or had something, I don't know. What I'm getting at is I think this, under a lot of pressure, it can foul up the reel. But that being said, I mean, I have heard of other people having similar issues. But I mean, after that, I continued to use the reel, obviously, and it worked just as it had before the cow nose ray came to play. But I mean, it's still, to this day, I mean, it's great. There's nothing obviously wrong with it. It's fine, but that was weird. I don't know. I wish somebody could explain. If somebody has a guess, please tell me in the comments below. Maybe you don't have a guess, maybe you know, tell me below. Really just the only thing that's kind of, like I said, in the gray area with me is the drag. But I mean, you're not using that much drag on a day-to-day basis on this reel, so it's really not that much of a concern. I do feel as though on Penn reels that you do a lot more spinning of the knob before you're really adjusting the pressure. That's just a personal thing. Some people like that so they can more accurately tune that, but I mean, sometimes I just get there real quick and then do what I need to do. But if you're looking at this reel and one of the factors is the drag and you want to stick with Penn, don't think that this is the only reel. They have much cheaper models like the Battle 2 that uses the exact same drag system in this reel, and the Battle 2 is a fraction of the cost of this reel. So I know this wasn't a huge video. I did want to tell you my experiences with this reel and give you some of the specs on it. I obviously would not take this reel, pair it with a 10-foot rod and go sling jigs at Cape Cod Canal. I wouldn't be using this either for, say, bucktails, sight casting cobia. It is. It's a great reel for the right class of fish. Looking back, I would definitely buy this reel again, but I would probably buy a much smaller size of this solely to throw lures for these inshore fish. Throwing bait and stuff, it's not really meant for that. So do I recommend it? Yes, I recommend it. I definitely recommend it. Again, if you're buying it for the drag or if you're buying it for the weight, you know, you have some things to think about. But do I recommend it? Yes, absolutely. Great reel. If I had to give it a star rating out of 5 stars, it'd probably fall somewhere around 4.5. Again, it's somewhere around 165 right now shipped from, but I do hope that hang on one second. Let me show you this. Something else that's pretty important about these reels is, okay, this is the Conflict 2, obviously, and this is the BG. They're both 4,000 sizes, but you can see that the BG is a little bit bigger. Now check it out. You can also see that the bull is much taller on the BG, which means this BG holds a lot more line. Yeah, this one holds 260 yards of 20, and the BG holds 370 yards of 20. So keep that in mind too when you're purchasing or thinking about purchasing these reels. I gotta leave it up to you to decide if you want to get it. Appreciate your time, everybody. It was fun sitting out here, getting some fresh air, talking about reels in the woods with nobody except for Bigfoot somewhere back there. But if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have a comment, question, want to talk about the reel or give me your opinions on it, type it in the comment section below. Please consider subscribing. Reel reviews, gear reviews, all that stuff is something new, but I'm going to be putting some of those videos out along the course of me putting out more fishing content. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's staying safe. Hope everybody's catching fish. Spring is among us. And I'll catch y'all guys next time. And I'm going to get y'all off this tree. Later.